Hey sis, listen to me. You don't need any complicated spreadsheets, okay, in order to figure out who your ideal client avatar is. Okay, what you really need instead is clarity. You need confidence and you need a connection to her journey. And I'm about to break all that down for you right now in this video and show you all three of those things and then some, okay? I'm going to simplify what you've been complicating all along and help you realize that it's so easy to actually determine and identify who it is you should actually be serving. Okay, we're going to talk about a few different things here, but I want to start with saying to you that this isn't just about creating like a fake persona, okay, which is what a lot of people are saying out here in these internet streets, okay? You don't need a fancy name like CEO Cynthia or Boss Babe Brenda or, like your ICA, your Ideal Client Avatar, also known as your ICA for short, okay? Those are what the acronyms mean. She's a real woman or real person, right? With real problems that you need to really solve. And she needs to feel like you see her, like you feel her, like you understand her or him, depending on who it is you're serving. Now, I want to say really quickly, shout out to Donnie Wiggins, who actually gave me this idea, right? Donnie Wiggins, if you don't know, she's a partner of David Shands. She has her own podcast, but her and David Shands has a podcast together, Social Proof. You may have heard of it, right? And Donnie has her own podcast, Full Transparency, which I love. Okay. And Donnie is my bestie. Okay. My biz bestie. Okay. Whether she knows it or not. And she is actually somebody who's actually been a mentor for me to some degree. Right. And I just love how she moves and how she rolls. And I love Full Transparency. And we have a lot in common. But she was having this conversation on her podcast talking about finding your ideal clients. And she was spot on. She hit on every point. And so I just really want to expound upon what she already said. I want to just kind of bring it home, right? Drive that message home. But I also want to just add my little twist to it, as I always do, the Katrina Marie way. Okay. So welcome or welcome back if you're new or if you're true to me. I appreciate you being here. And let's go ahead and get into it. All right. The first thing I want to point out to you is that I want to talk about the mistakes first. Okay. The biggest mistakes that most new entrepreneurs or most newbies, as we call you, make. Okay. And the first thing is that you try to target everyone. And the spoiler alert is that when you try to target everyone, you end up servicing no one, right? Because you are not trying to serve the masses. You are not here for everybody, and everybody is not for you. So we've got to just get that out of our minds that we are trying to serve everybody, right? We are here to serve a particular type of client, and that client is known as our ideal client avatar. Okay, and she is the person that you are best positioned to serve and get the best results for, right? And that you do your best work with. Okay, so that is not everybody, right? Because you, as I talk a lot about here on my channel, you are a specialist. You are not a generalist. And no more than you as a consumer or you as somebody who's like going out to look for, say, a doctor, because I'm a nurse. So I always think in terms of nurse and doctor or patient and doctor relationships, right? If you are going to a doctor because you have a heart condition or because you have like if you have a heart condition, you're not going to go to a skin doctor, a dermatologist, right? If you have diabetes, you're going to go see an internal medicine doctor. You're not going to go see a GYN or OBGYN who specializes in women's healthcare, right? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, doesn't that sound crazy? They're not trying to reach everybody. They're just trying to reach the specific targeted individuals that they serve, right? They specialize in a particular area. This is the thing they do all day, every day. Yes, they know the general stuff too, right? But there's a special area that they market to, a segment of the market, not the masses. And I know a lot of people feel like Okay, and you might be somebody like this too, who feel like, oh, but if I niche down, which is what that's called, you're narrowing your niche, you're niching down in the market, that then I'm not going to make enough money because I'm just, narrowing down a small group of people that I'm servicing. No, actually, contrary to popular belief, you will make more because you are a specialist and you're going to charge premium prices for that. Do you understand? So, just like me. Take me as an example, as I always use myself as an example to help put this into perspective for you. I have a background working 30 years in corporate, okay, 25 years as a RN in healthcare, right? Doing a variety of different roles, 20 plus years in leadership. Have been a legal nurse consultant and a variety of other things, right? I've been a health and wellness educator. I've been an educator in all the ways. I've been coaching and consulting for over a decade. I have a legal background. I am HR certified and trained, right? So I took all of that in combination and I said, okay, I am now going to package up myself. Like once I got past the point of being a career transition coach, which is what I started off as, and a startup business expert, when I knew more and when I wanted to include my background in healthcare, I was like, this is important to me that I not only teach women how to leave a job or how to pivot from that and start a business, but I also want to touch on, and I've always really had this integrated into my practice for the most part, but I've always cared about you as the whole being, right? The whole person, because different areas of our lives, if it is going down south or going left, right? It is going to create havoc in your business and it's going to hurt your bottom line because if you're not healthy holistically, right? Holistically well in your relationships, in your finances, in your career, in your business, in your health, right? Forget job and business for now, in your family, your dynamics there. Like if you are not healthy, meaning as far as your health is concerned, if all of that is, like in shambles, then you're not going to be doing as well as you should be or could be as an entrepreneur business owner. Does that make sense? So we've got to touch on all of those areas because it's a holistic approach. So I am a holistic business coach and an RN health and wellness educator that's not only teaching you how to leave a job and build a profitable and aligned online brand and business, I'm also teaching you how to do that while prioritizing your health, healing, and happiness. You see what I'm saying? It's very specific. I have niched down even further than what I did in the beginning. Okay. So you've just got to think about how to package yourself up in a similar way that you are servicing a particular market, doing what you already know how to do. And as I always have said and will always continue to say, and you may have heard me say this, if you don't know where to start, always start where you are. Work with what you have and do what you know. Okay. Now, the other thing is that, as far as mistakes that new entrepreneurs make, is that they obsess over demographics. That means you are thinking about the woman who is living in a particular area of the country and she's 35 to 55 years old and she's this color and this gender, or this person is this gender, this color. Like, listen, that is important, but what's more important is to not ignore her psychographics. I keep saying she because I'm naturally used to exclusively catering to women. Okay. But whatever, you might service kids, you might service men, you might service a combination of both. Whatever it is for you, just replace the she with what that is, okay? But don't neglect the psychographics, okay? You've got to deal with the emotions, the pain points, the belief system that this individual has, okay? You also need to think about, and this is the other mistake, you're thinking right now, or a lot of new entrepreneurs think that they are having multiple avatars when they're actually only speaking to one avatar. Like I'm only speaking to one woman, one type of woman that happens to be at different stages, phases, or levels of in the journey or in her business. She is on this same path, but she might be a beginner, she might be intermediate, she might be more advanced. Whichever path, wherever she is on the journey, I am meeting her there. You understand? So I'm never talking to a bunch of multiple different types of ideal client avatars or ICAs. I'm only always talking to one individual, one type of avatar, my dream client. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Now, before we move on, if you are getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment below so we can get this discussion popping. Let me know what's resonating with you so far and what was that aha light bulb moment that you had, right? Let me know that in the comments right now. Now, let's get back to business. I want to teach you really quickly what I call the Marie method, okay? One client, many phases. That's Marie as in Katrina Marie, okay? And I called this that because I, just like you, were once upon a time my ideal client. Your ideal client is typically someone that you used to be or where you were in the journey back when, where you are right now or where you are aspiring to be or headed towards, right? So, but I want to start by saying my Marie method, and I'll just break it down with who Marie is because Marie is the name of my avatar, okay, my middle name. Marie is one of three places in the journey, okay? Marie is the aspiring entrepreneur, right? So she's still working her 9 to 5. She's frustrated. She's dreaming of more. She knows she was put here for something greater. She knows that she no longer wants to be in the corporate arena, but she doesn't exactly know how to leave, how to transition, how to replace her income. What will she do next, right? She has all of these concerns and feelings and thoughts and emotions, and I know where she is because I know where I was, okay? Marie may also be the side business starter, okay? She is juggling, wearing all the hats and doing all the things. She's juggling work. She's doing the new venture. She's overwhelmed, tired, exhausted. She's got a family to take care of. She's shouldering with the responsibilities of her household and the job and her relationship and the this and the that and the third. And she is just ready to her head is spinning and she's just like, somebody help me. I don't know what to do. I got to get from this place. And that is who Marie, the side business starter, is. Okay. Then there's Marie, the full-time entrepreneur or full-time business owner. She, in this part of the journey, she made the leap. She is making some money. She may even be making consistent revenue, right? But maybe her business is not yet fully profitable, or maybe it is profitable, but in the meantime, she feels stuck in hustle mode still. She doesn't know what she's doing wrong or why this is, things have panned out this way, right? She's feeling burnt out, even though she has people to help her. She has a team, or maybe she doesn't have the right people on the team, though. Maybe she doesn't have the right systems in place or the right processes, or she's not structured as well as she could be. Maybe she's too in the weeds, right? That's Marie. That's who Marie is as the full-time entrepreneur, right? So I want you to hear in that you don't need 3 different ICAs. You only need one. In this ICA just needs you to understand her at every phase. Does that make sense? You got what I'm saying? Okay. Now, how do you know when you're actually speaking to the right woman or the right person, the right individual? That's a great question, and I'm so glad you asked. So you're going to know that because she or he says, how did you get into my head? It's like you're reading my mind. Or how did you get into my heart? You really feel my pain. Like it's as if you've been there. It's as if I sat down with you and had this conversation. How did you know? That's how, right? Because you do know. Because you've been there. You do understand. She needs to feel seen and heard and understood. Who best to see her, to feel her and understand her or him other than you? Right? This person is going to take action, fast action. Why? Because even And even if the action is small. And the reason for that is because these individuals are solid decision makers, they're fast action takers, and they are problem aware. Now, they may not be solution aware, or they may be, but maybe they're solution aware and hadn't yet found the right person. And then here you come with the right messaging. You feel what I'm saying? So when you have the right messaging for the right person, and you know what they're thinking, you know what they're feeling, you know what they're going through right now, you can speak to those pain points and you can speak to the transformation where they are now living in the problems there, but then where you're going to take them on the other side. What does that look like? So we're now talking their dread to dream story, right? We're now talking the zero to hero story. We're now talking the Kansas City to Oz story. We're now talking the hell to heaven story, right? Whatever you want to call it. Their nightmare to dream, all the things that I've said here before. You're taking them from where they are now in the journey to where they ultimately want to be, or at least to the next milestone. Okay? So action looks like he or she took action with you, right? They downloaded an ebook, or they made a comment and engaged with you, or they booked a call, or they attended an event you invited them to. They're taking action because they're always there watching, seeking, looking, learning, listening, and taking action. Okay? Your ICA is you. She is you. 5 to 10 years ago. So I want you to understand that you are the blueprint. You. Your lived experience is what she is trying to survive right now. Right now. You know what she needs to do to get from where she is right now, because you've already been there and you've gotten out of that yourself. What did you do to get where you are from that place? Do you understand? This is not a guessing game. You don't need to guess. You already know what she's thinking, what she's feeling, what she's Googling at 3 a.m., what YouTube videos she's watching, what social media she's looking at, what blog posts and articles she's reading, right? You know her hell right now. You know her pain. You know, you can even go into some of these groups and see the discussion around it. You understand? So you know. So you don't need to guess what you did. You just need to go back and think about what you did that's gotten you from that point or that place to where you are right now. How did you get to where you're sitting in this position you're in right now? That is the question, right? So I want you to do a simple ICA, ideal client avatar, clarity exercise. This is for you to get a better understanding yourself. Now that I've taken you through the process, I want you to have a better understanding of what exactly you need to do for yourself using what I've taught you in this video. And it's very simple. I literally want you to just take some quiet time to yourself and go back to the place and the time and think about where you used to be. That was miserable. A miserable place you never want to go back to visit now that you've gotten out of there. So whatever it is you teach, right, about relationships or finances, maybe you were really broke before, right? Broke as a joke and ready to choke kind of thing, right? Maybe you were in a bad, abusive relationship that you got out of. Thank God you lived and survived it to tell the story. How did you get out of it? A lot of women don't make it out. Or how did you start over? What did you do? What were the steps? Maybe you're in a loving relationship now. How did you find love again? Like, I'm just using this as an example, right? Maybe you were in a toxic job, something that I teach you how to get out of. I remember because I've been in plenty of them, working 30 plus long years or 30 long years in corporate America. So much so that I have a whole series, a corporate chronicle series that I do on my channel dedicated to those jobs, talking about it because I want to help those women who are there now get out. Right? So, what is it for you that where was it that you once were 5 or 10 years ago that you've gotten yourself out of that? What was the journey you took yourself through? What were the milestones you hit? What were the steps you took? What were the actions you took to get out? Okay? Think about that. Your younger self, 5 to 10 years ago, what is the guide or the resource or the life preserver that you would have wanted somebody to give you? What was the conversation you wish somebody would have given you or had with you? What would it be? What would that be for you back then? But now you know it, so you can create it and be the blueprint and the guide and the support system that she needs right now. That's what I'm doing, right? And then I need you to go and create that for Marie, your Marie. Okay? Because you're going to name your own avatar. And like I said, it don't have to be some of the fancy names that I said earlier, but just a simple name like a real person. Attach it to you or a real person that you know is going through this right now. Okay. Now, I do want to share with you that if you are ready for a no fluff approach, right? Like cut the fluff, cut the BS, right? Just get straight, no chaser. Like if you want me, that kind of coach, which I am, to get right to the point, how do I leave a 9 to 5 that no longer serves me? How do I start building a brand and business in the online space that truly speaks to, you know, your dream client? Like if you want that for yourself, right? If you want just out of the traditional path of, going to school and getting in degrees and getting in debt and getting in corporate America and climbing the corporate ladder just to find that you're in, is nothing but a bunch of disappointment and it's not a place you want to be anymore. You have outgrown the corporate building, as I say, right? Like you just want more for yourself. Then you want to download you want to download my quick start guide. And it's going to teach you my 7 simple steps in how to cut the corporate cord. It's going to help you to not only get aligned, but to get paid and how to replace your salary, especially if you're a high salary earner like I was when I left corporate America. Okay. Now, I do have an urgent call to action for you as well, especially if you're a Black woman ready to exit from a toxic job, hostile work environment, or again, a job that just no longer serves you anymore. Like you're just ready for more. Okay. And you want to step into your purpose and walk in the magnitude of your greatness. I want you to come and join me and 15 other incredible speakers lined up to speak life into you. Wherever you are in the journey, we've got something for everybody. Okay. Meaning Black women who's ready to leave corporate America, ready to leave America, ready to start a business, ready to do those things that align with their deepest aspirations. 15 plus speakers lined up, ready to pour their heart and souls into you, including yours truly. Okay. Now, it is called the Job Liberation Virtual Summit. This is the 2nd year we've done it. It has sold out quickly last year. We're inviting more people, expecting more, like 1,000 or more people to come to this virtual event. 100% virtual, doesn't matter where you are. Okay, it just matters that you're in the virtual building. Okay, so come join, invite your biz bestie, invite your entrepreneur entourage, your family members, friends, colleagues, somebody, anybody, everybody who needs to be in this room. And make sure you go ahead and grab those tickets now while they're on sale, because the price goes up after April 15th. So you have until April 15th. Okay, mark your calendars or just do it now and get the discounted price. And we are going to give you all we got. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. And listen, I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Please share this video out with at least 3 friends. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.